Now, Clutch, this team, they've been there, done that, got the jersey. They know exactly what they're coming into with this series. Are they prepared for maybe a new look Rebellion who could be out for blood this Sunday?
Yeah, I think they want a new look Rebellion. What Rebellion did to them yesterday, they outclassed Optic Gaming, but Optic Gaming are playing well, and with a little bit of a run here in the elimination bracket, Optic want an opportunity at revenge for being in the elimination bracket. I think they are primed and ready to find themselves in the grand finals.
Tony, looking at the series layout, what are you picking apart here for both of these teams?
Well, one thing I'm seeing is that game number 1, game number 3 are going to be so important. Obviously, you have Optic, who are one of the best oddball teams in the league, but Shopify Rebellion currently undefeated. You have Capture the Flag, they're undefeated, and that so far this tournament, this game number 1 is going to be crazy.
It certainly is indeed. At one point in time, Optic were undefeated on live fire. Can they continue this strength for them in this split? Clutch, Walshy, it's over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday afternoon, elimination bracket finals on our hands. Optic Gaming and the Green Wall trying to get back to back grand finals here in the HCS this season. We're kicking it off with Deadzone. He's got a lot of damage taken, and that's 3 members of Optic going down. Shopify, Dave, let's talk about it as this game gets in the early game right now. Shopify, how much does it mean to them to get off to a hot start here, having gotten 3-0'd once again in the winners bracket finals?
It is tough because when you look at all those factors, Optic Gaming, they have the experience. They have the momentum from winning their first series of the day, and they have the crowd behind them. You hear that crowd chanting. It makes a difference when your team is going off, getting those kills. You want to be actually a little bit more quiet when your team's on the back foot so you can coordinate. As soon as you start hearing the roaring of the crowd and you're spawning, that's not a great feeling.
Yeah, I remember playing against Roy and Lunch and just hearing the crowd going wild. That is a terrible feeling on Championship Sunday. Right now, Cykul has the snipe in hand. We're looking at Cykul to be the player that potentially can kick open the door for Shopify's opportunity here early in this game. Back and forth, the chaos ensues. Kills being traded left and right, and Cykul puts all of Optic in the death cam.
Cykul just deciding to hold towards this back green, preparing for this ball rotate. And look at this, I love this play, just taking up more ground. Anytime you're trying to acquire a new location or power-up or power weapon, you don't just stop right at that point. You go past it. You make sure the whole area is secure.
It's a green setup right now for Shopify. They've got a 30-to-5-point lead right now, but Optic have gone around Cykul. Cykul's going to get counted out. The ball doesn't get played, Dave, and that's a very important piece of that information, because now Optic will have a green setup. Cykul's going to play his life and wait for teammates to spawn.
Yeah, it seems like Shopify, we're trying to rotate all the way towards tower. And in a case like that, at some point you have to take those little pauses. You gotta say, first you get to garage, okay, safe there. Rotate towards green. Do we get in a play ball scenario? And that's the most important part, is you have to take those play balls when you can, because do not give Optic the ball where they can rotate it away.
Play balls mean so much to be able to reset the map and deny an opportunity, but Optic with that opportunity right now has almost made this an even game. Since that ball did not get played, Optic were able to rotate it all the way to tower, and now the ball finds itself at scoreboard. 27-30 the score line right now. 2 members of Shopify go down. Camo is up. Formal and Deadzone have great teamwork to take down SoulSnipe, and that will be the second camo of the game going into Optic's hands. 3 go down for Shopify, and look out, Dave, this is going to be a ball setup and a roaming camouflage Deadzone.
Not a second wasted with that ball time. Deadzone not even caring that he has camo, grabbing those extra couple seconds, passing to his teammate, and then going up, secure that tower. Look at him just head on a swivel, knowing some players got to be pushing it up. Gets the nice surprise with the AR melee and keeps tower under Optic control.
And a big kill onto the best player, in my opinion, for Shopify right now. Deadzone rotates to bottom middle. It's a killing spree for Deadzone. 4 down again for Shopify. And now all of a sudden, that clock is ticking. The points are going in Optic's favor. They have a 20-point lead.
Optic trying to find out where the push is coming from. Is it going to be pushing towards Nest or Garage? Seems like they're not seeing the push towards Nest at the moment. TriPPPeY 3-on-1 over there. Not going to come out successful in that fight, but enough damage has been done. Suppress going to have to wait for teammates to spawn as he's just pinned over in the window.
But look, as TriPPPeY loses that 3v1, he gets 1 player down, another player no shield, and the ball being rotated this entire time has given Optic now a 40-point lead. Suppressed, taking Deadzone's face off, but still, Optic able to minimize the damage Suppress is able to do with that snipe, and not only that, continue to have at least a decent control over where this oddball is located.
And look at how sneaky Deadzone plays that. Yes, Suppressed hit an immaculate shot there and killed him over in the rat tunnel. But 2 different times we have Deadzone, sitting over towards back tower, or sitting over towards rat tunnel, and just baiting that ball, knowing that player is going to be focused on a different player and getting to that back smack or that melee side.
Optic get 4 down again. How many times have we seen that so far in this first round? It's starting to get ugly, Dave. 87 points and climbing. Last push for Shopify here in round 1, and it gets stuck by TriPPPeY right now. They do have a man advantage, Shopify have, but with 3 points remaining, Deadzone has full shield, and nobody from Shopify is there to take him down. Optic Gaming have dominated round 1 of our elimination bracket finals game 1, and now Shopify fans start to sweat a little bit heavier, start to get a little bit more nervous. We've talked about needing Shopify to have a strong start. That is not what we needed to see.
Well, if Shopify are going to get back into this, they got to do it in the slaying department, because Optic is a difficult enough team to beat if you're even in slays with them. But when Optic are outslaying you by 50%, that first round was 33 kills for Optic, 22 kills for Shopify Rebellion.
And Lucid 12-3-6, Deadzone 10-3-5. Those two players are double positive. And when Lucid and Deadzone are double positive, good things happen. Bad things happen when you quantum back to the quantum when it's off the map. TriPPPeY ends up playing that snipe, but in the meantime, Lucid continues his double positive score at 14-3-7. He picks up a big double kill to make that TriPPPeY death get a little bit less.
Yeah, TriPPPeY dropping in the river, a little bit different of a flow state there. Not going to make any use out of those two power-ups and power weapons. He needs to make sure he's capitalized in those situations.
And 3 dead again for Shopify. It seems like when 1 goes down, 2 go down, 3 go down, all 4 coming off the respawn now, as SoulSnipe will be the first player coming off respawn. Lucid gonna be the first line of defense. He's spotted out Mental, taking him to no shield. Mental is able to double back and get some damage, but Lucid is on fire right now. He can't land the stick, but he has created so much space between the enemy team and Shopify and his ball carrier.
Just great job, and that's exactly what you're looking at. Think of how difficult that is to take down Lucid in a scenario like that. They had 2-on-1 there. They had a height advantage, and he's just back and forth, retargeting between key door and sandbags.
Lucid starting to hit his flow right now on Championship Sunday, and he wants to make it to a Grand Finals. You know, Optic Gaming have been haunted by the Grand Finals experience so far this year, and they do not want to miss out on another championship. Lucid now pushing from the bridge. SoulSnipe's by himself. It's a kill from TriPPPeY. The ball gets played this time around, but the Shopify Rebellion still are down by 4. The ball actually doesn't get played once again, so TriPPPeY was able to get that kill onto SoulSnipe to keep that ball on the map. Lucid with ball in hand now starts to score for Optic.
Yeah, rotation is painted for him. He sees Deadzone spawning over a green, so starts to make the rotation, trying to see if he can draw anyone over towards the pillar door. But now that Deadzone is down at green, they're going to have to play ball or fight this one out. Looks like Lucid knows that it's still safe. And somehow, Optic are able to make these rotations when they are the only one alive.
This is the last guy alive with the ball, and he's able to get the ball, acquire a little bit more time, and throw it back bottom middle to allow respawners to be able to compete for this neutralized position. Right now, Cykul's going to try and relocate top A plat. Formal smells him coming. No, Formal gets a couple of shots and then leaves him. Deadzone finishes it off. The teamwork from Optic stands strong again. 3 go down. Another camouflage in the heads of Deadzone.
One thing that I'm starting to realize from this Optic strategy, from bringing it over from tower towards dummy door, is it's essentially almost like a play ball in that situation. Either A, you get the rotation all the way back towards garage, or B, even if you get picked there, the ball's basically at the play ball location over in Rat Tunnel.
And I think the important part about that is there's so many avenues for respawners to get there quickly. Such a tight window for grenades to find themselves successful there. Shopify struggling in these situations and continuing to struggle out of these situations, as Optic are going to lose the ball. They're going to play the ball. Deadzone able to pick up a kill, but a 50-point lead here in round 2. Another dominant start to the round 2 for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, and this tower has been firmly in control of Optic anytime it's been in play. But great job by Shopify to bring that ball all the way over towards key door. Tower is not going to be play during this ball location, and that's going to be 3 down. TriPPPeY, the last one alive. He does not want to give the sniper up. I like this. Wisely backs away, has 3 bullets so that he can use a bullet or so and then push in, and even if he gets picked off, no bullets going in the hands of Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, Optic have the comfort from playing with this 50-point lead. TriPPPeY waits for respawners before he decides to push. Love the play that he's pulling the bandit out, but now it's the snipe. He's going to play the ball, actually, and that is a beautiful play ball. He realizes that multiple members of Optic went down. All 4 members of Optic go down, but Shopify cannot capitalize on this situation because TriPPPeY played that ball.
And we need to talk about these bullets. Let's see if it comes back to bite Optic. We said that there's 3 bullets left. I didn't expect those to go in the hands of Shopify. One gets a body shot, another misses, and the third one up for grabs.
Not going to be enough. Here come Optic Gaming. It's a 3-on-3, but Shopify's going to be forced to drop the ball to try and slay. SoulSnipe with a beautiful grenade finishes that kill, but the last snipe bullet, it goes into Formal's hands. You know what Formal does? Formal puts snipe bullets to work as he finds that kill. The door is now open. Shopify's setup is held by Mental on a string right now. Mental's got the pressure of the world on him, and Lucid's going to let him come to him.
That bait right there, you saw Lucid first baiting that remote detonation on the frag grenade. In case a player jumped right up, he was going to shoot that frag grenade, go for the headshot. Timing just always works out in that way, though. The moment that you look away, players come around that corner.
He's gotten me with that a couple of times in matchmaking, and I just shake my head. Lucid. He is so good at remote detonations. Right now, though, the first camo of the game, it feels like, for Shopify in SoulSnipe's hands, trying to stay alive, but here come the member of Optic Gaming. They're calling him out. They know he's no shield, but SoulSnipe and the teamwork of Shopify will prevail here. A 30-point game still, but a triple kill from SoulSnipe might just be what the doctor ordered.
You know, the entire pregame we were talking about who needs to step it up here. Is it going to be Suppressed or is it going to be Cykul kind of carry this roster? Instead, it's SoulSnipe having the most kills for the Shopify Rebellion roster, getting camo when they need it most, and helping his team claw back into this game, only 6 points behind.
Most kills in the match now. SoulSnipe finds his 22nd. 2 go down for Optic, and now all of a sudden, Shopify have arisen from the smoke, from the ashes. Round 2 is in their grasp now. What was once a dominant round from Optic Gaming, all of a sudden, a very winnable round for Shopify as they find themselves up 5 points as the ball gets played.
Ball get played. We're going to see Lucid grab this new sniper, take a couple pot shots, and eventually lands that buy shot. And he's just so good, he's going to challenge it anyways. You got to wonder how confident he's feeling to be able to do something like that.
2 go down now as TriPPPeY gets stuck. 2-on-2 situation, the ball being rotated. Shopify are going to drop that ball and try to slay. Mental and SoulSnipe's teamwork is too much for Deadzone to try and deal with right now, and they go right back to the ball. And now, with 13 points remaining in round 2, Shopify look to push this game the distance to a round 3.
Look at that, SoulSnipe knowing somebody's weak down there. He's also doing it all. He has the most kills and the most time here for Shopify Rebellion. So doing absolutely everything his team needs for him to push up against Optic here in this round number 2.
7 points, and finally Shopify get that ball back in hand. 4 points as the first player for Optic goes down. But here comes TriPPPeY, a double for SoulSnipe. Who else? 24, 5, and 18. SoulSnipe needs 1 more point to take this to a round 3. 3 members of Optic go down. Shopify get ball in hand, and here we go, Shopify. The resiliency here in round 2 was impressive, but on to round 3.
When I looked at the slays starting in around early round 2, Optic was up about 18 kills. Somehow that deficit is closed. Now Shopify Rebellion are outslayed by 3 kills total in this entire game. So they went on some amazing run, racking up about positive 20 over those last 5 minutes.
They started to get snipes in hand, camos in hand, actually hold some of these setups, and Shopify show you why they're in the elimination bracket finals this tournament. A chance for a trophy awaits them if they're able to win this series. Round 2 was a phenomenal response to how dominant Optic have looked so far, but Lucid picking up the first camo of round 3. Let's see what he can do with it. He finds a kill on the Mental, takes them down. 2 go down for Shopify. Optic are gonna rotate this into the screen door, and with that, they're gonna have the first setup of round 3.
And look at this confidence, just knowing that the ball carrier is safe, and then rotating out to try to find different angles. Lucid, knowing that player's going for desperation, he's so far up in that battle that he's just gonna back away, create some distance, and dodge any spike or sticky grenades flying at him.
Lucid plays this situation perfect. Cykul, the last player alive, not to no shield in the rat tunnel right there. Cykul does stay alive, but now Optic, with the ball in hand, will start to build a significant lead once again in round 3. 25-0, and SoulSnipe gets caught out by himself at green. Right now, Cykul will be coming out of big door, but Optic Gaming with the first pick might be able to use numbers to their advantage. A big pick off from Cykul there will stop this setup from Optic Gaming. The ball does get played. 36 points now, Optic lead.
But look at that, Optic creating so many opportunities to rotate it perfectly. The ball's following the path. Ball is not getting picked off during the rotation. They're playing the ball. Once they do meet that force from Shopify Rebellion, they're just doing everything so well there.
Yeah, these play balls are huge because look at this. Shopify had a numbers advantage but not able to play around it. Cykul has the snipe in hand. Formal trying to deal with him. Formal's able to knock him to no shield, but here come the respawners of Shopify on the camera side of the map. Fortunately for Formal, Optic Gaming are back from the nest spawns, and now this will be an even fight. The ball gets played again as multiple members of Optic go down. You can see the strategy is clear. Make sure you play it at any cost, but Formal, still being a nuisance, takes down Suppress. Mental is top tower. Mental and Formal will trade it out, but Optic Gaming will deny a realistic opportunity at a setup once again.
And you saw that play ball. As soon as Shopify Rebellion saw that go out there, they didn't expect anyone else near tower or mud. That's why Formal was so dangerous in that position. He's able to get that flank on the dummy door, take out tower, and what was going to be an amazing setup there from Shopify Rebellion just gets crushed by one flanker.
Optic Gaming go 2 down, but Formal's able to get that camouflage. Shopify would rather hold the setup than desperate for that camo. They're going to bring the ball out to green. Fortunately, they're in a promising position to play the ball this time around, but will they expect Formal to be here with camo? Formal's forced to shoot Mental, and Mental plays the ball wisely. They trade out camo, and a beautiful trade for Shopify with a successful play ball will put them in a 10-point game.
Yeah, great ball rotation by Shopify there. Like we said, this time they got the play ball. They let that player slip behind enemy lines, but you can't really stop that against a pro camo player.
Yeah, you'll take that every day of the week if you're Shopify, especially knowing Formal with camo can be so dangerous. They trade him out and get the play ball, and look at what's happened since then. What's transpired is a Shopify back tower setup. With the numbers advantage they have, Mental was sniped top tower now. Wins a nice body shot onto the player, bottom trending. But Mental's going to back it up, not going to overextend. They lose 2 players, and once again, the ball is going to get played. Mental actually going to throw the snipe off the map, but Lucid catches it. Lucid catches the snipe in midair before it can go off the map, and let's see what this means for Optic Gaming's new setup.
Yeah, he wanted to get rid of that one completely. It's still a near full sniper, 7 bullets. Let's see what Lucid decides to do here. Ball is going to be able to draw some players out from Shopify into some odd locations, and there's gonna be one pick over into dummies, second pick onto the silo. Just gonna jump out, no scope for the triple kill.
Wait,
can he do it all?
Wait, Lucid, you madman! An overkill! He catches the snipe, and he takes over with it!
That is unreal. Lucid is feeling himself, and you gotta think, that all spawned from that sniper not being tossed off the map. That's why it is so important to throw these power weapons away from your opponents and rather be in nobody's hands than in my opponent's hands.
Lucid put Shopify on World Star right there with an unbelievable overkill to give Optic a 30-point lead. And if you're Mental and company, you're like, man, I thought you played that snipe. And we saw how well Lucid can play with that snipe. One of the most impressive clips I've seen, but the game goes on. Shopify had the ball at green. Suppress is going to try to play this one. This time, it doesn't get caught. 3 go down for Shopify, however. Optic quick to get to bottom middle, and now Lucid and Formal will be in charge of making this ball carrier's path clear.
Just like that, the Optic playbook every single time is get in front of that ball carrier and clear the path. If you are an opposing team playing against Optic and you think you can get some free shots on the ball, I got some bad news for you.
Last push for Shopify in game 1 right here, and they have to deal with Formal with camo. Formal able to find a pick. He gets double teamed, however. During that double team, a lot of damage going on to these players for Shopify. 3 go down, last player alive. Lucid versus Mental, and if Mental remembers how this last battle went, this is dangerous. You gotta be nervous, but Mental with the confidence, challenges in the window, wins the one-on-one, and will keep this game going on for Shopify to have an opportunity to respawn and compete for this ball.
Formal just staying alive. He's not going to desperate this ball. He's just going to buy time, wait for his other teammates to get in over there. Looks like Deadzone's also be baiting this. This ball could reset shortly as well, so we're going to see. And I believe there's the ball reset going back towards the tunnel. So Garage is no longer the play. Who's going to be there for the pick up the ball?
Shopify have to play towards bottom middle, and Optic Gaming are patrolling bottom middle right now. They got ball in hand, 97 points, and game 1 is over. Put a punctuation on it. Lucid said, I'll do it myself. And Optic Gaming find themselves up 1-0 in our elimination finals.
You ask about the superstars in these big matches. You can't ask for much more than Lucid there, going 40-27 with one of the nastiest overkills we've seen so far throughout this weekend.
That goes up there with the chick overkill, in my opinion. In the moment that it's happening, elimination bracket finals, game 1. And the fact that Mental tries to throw that snipe off the map, and Lucid just catches it and robs him like a left field home run ball. Lucid denies that home run, and he puts one out of the park himself. That overkill, Lucid, you are You are a sick individual. That was crazy. I love this game. I love this series. And if that is anything that is in store for us for the rest of this series, I hope every map we have has an S7. If they don't, we can forge one in. I'm just saying.
Those are those rough ones where it's like, I felt like Shopify were playing well. Sure, there's a couple minor mistakes here or there. But when the superstars just hit that next level, when they're on fire, it's just everything goes right. Like, as that play was unfolding, I was like, he's probably going to hit this. Like, as he goes for that third and that fourth shot, yeah, you're like, the dude's going to hit it. It's like you're watching a montage before it's even being created.
He's lining it up, and it's so smooth when he does. We're going to take a look at the highlights from game one. But, Dave, I want to talk about round two and how poorly round one went for Shopify. Round two, they responded so resiliently there. They were down big, and they came back and punched this to a third round. And round three was competitive up until that clip. But what did you see from Shopify in that round two that gives you promise that they're going to be able to push this series past 3 games?
One, it was the outslaying prowess. You saw them completely outslay Optic Gaming during round two and also do some great ball play. When it came to round three, it was a little bit closer in slaying. Optic definitely had the slaying department, but like I said, when it comes to oddball and even slaying, that's gonna favor Optic. So I saw moments from Shopify Rebellion where they can slay with the best of them, where they can do well. But in the end, it was just Optic coming out ahead in slays and with the superstar plays.
I'm gonna be quiet as this clip's bound to come up very shortly. Here it is. The first is an easy single shot. As the second's a body shot on the respawner Cykul, he gets finished up. Lucid knows exactly where this player is. A body shot, headshot, and then lines up the slide right there. That is disgusting. Probably the best clip we've seen this year by far. And what does he do? He picks up the off ball right after it. He says, I'm gonna get some time here. You can tell how locked in this young man is.
And how rare do you see Lucid actually pop off or get excited? He has to do something special to get himself excited.
Yeah, it's gotta be an overkill. No scope, took down the whole team in the elimination bracket finals. And what a way to kick this one off. Fireworks to start it off. Street Slayer's the name of the game for game two right here. And if you're Shopify, you've been in so many close games today, but you haven't been able to punch the ticket. Did the stats on the Slayer on the screen here for Shopify give you some promise that they're going to be able to tie this series up?
Absolutely. I mean, look at that. They're the best Slayer team here in 2024. Yes, they dropped, some close ones. We saw that slight panic there.
SSG one, that was tough.
Up by 5 against SSG, I believe on recharge, but it's a whole new game in Streets. When I start to think about how tricky and how quick these players are, this is the best map for them. They can just make so many flank routes to be in so many sneaky spots. And just like that, we get a 2-1 lead here for Shopify Rebellion to kick off Street Slayer.
A strong start, but you still got to deal with Tommy Wilson with the Bulldog shotgun, and that is a difficult task here. Wooster's going to jump into the tires. The 2-pump shot into the body will make the kids drop as he shrouds the camo. He's going to pick up that camo. And now Camo Lucid Shoddy is a problem on the map. The game is all tied up, and here comes Optic Gaming.
Yeah, Lucid knows where the player's at, and he is headed directly for him. And look at this, not even just assuming that they're going to be stagnant, he is moving quick and trying to get these cutoffs. And I've never seen anyone ever hide in this spot. And we're seeing such great plays from all these players. They have all these tricky locations and know how to outplay each other.
For traditionally a game that's played at such a fast pace, Lucid slows it down. They have to be so weary about where is this game of player. Lucid finally makes his presence known. He transitions it into a double kill, a triple kill for Lucid. The last player running from Lucid away. Lucid wants to hunt him down, but respawners will back Lucid up and suppress him. It's just a triple kill this time around.
Lucid's doing it all himself. Teammates calling where they're at, getting them weak, and Lucid finishing off the kills.
You ever seen Perfect Halo, Dave? This is Perfect Halo. 4-0 to start this one off right now, and Lucid is letting the game come to him. Notice the pace that he is playing at compared to everybody else what seems to be in the lobby. Lucid not giving any lives away and finding the kills where he can.
Yeah, he's waiting for that information, hearing where people are weak, and then going for those finishes. So many times he's also going for those cutoffs. It takes a different level of intuition and understanding of Halo as you hear somebody's over at Cafe and saying, okay, that means I need to get this shot weak over towards ATM or Bulldog side.
Lucid spots 2 players he knows. SoulSnipe's no shield. It's an easy double. Lucid starting this game off 7-0, make it 8-0. It's another triple. The overkill's in front of him. He wants it. You can tell he's going to get it. He gets the trade. And yes, Lucid starts this game off 1 kill away shy from a frenzy. At least 2 triple kills to his name. And he is continuing to take over.
And look at the assists from his teammates. 12 assists total between Formal, Deadzone, and TriPPPeY, just setting up so many great plays for each other, especially for Lucid.
TriPPPeY with the red gun, gonna jump heaven. He gets denied from heaven, gonna get sent back to the death cam now as Cykul gonna try and push these respawners from Optic. Formal not technically focused on him, but Formal turns and burns Cykul all of a sudden. The pressure's starting to show in Shopify's gameplay, something that has not happened to Cykul all weekend long. Formal turns on him with the first 3, and now you're starting to feel the nerves get to the young guns.
I felt like when we were seeing these previous series where Optic or FaZe were taking on Shopify or Pure, you saw these individual plays, especially from Pure. And here we're seeing Optic step up to that challenge. If there's a one-on-one and they're down a shot, they don't care, they're challenging it. They're not fully reliant on each other when push comes to shove.
All of a sudden, the game turns into a snail's pace. Lucid with shotgun in hand once again has an 8-kill lead to play around multiple members of Shopify trying to push up the purple street. Lucid's going to back up and play his life. He's doing that so well so far throughout this series, and it's going to pay off. 3 go down for Shopify as they're distracted on trying to take down
Overkill.
Lucid doesn't give it to him, and Penguin this time around, Deadzone, will find himself an overkill off screen. So not only Lucid starting to heat up, but the rest of the boys on Optic Gaming are also here to play. Deadzone 12, 3, and 7. Lucid 10, 3, and 3 now.
You know, I feel like they must have some sort of strategy or some sort of plan that they talked about last night when they're going against these aggressive teams, saying, all right, the first kills aren't going to come out where you first hear these call-outs. You got to let them make the first play, and then you need to go in for this cutoff, go in to interject in the middle of their setup. And it felt like we've seen that from Lucid getting overkill, or Lucid pushing towards backram. We saw it there from Deadzone getting that overkill as well as he pushed over towards Cafe/Neon side. So they must have talked about something that's kind of like that trigger or that note that they're tracking in-game for where to go and when to push and how to get those kills.
I think the big difference for me between this Optic and any Optic we have seen is individuals are making plays, yes, but the teamwork is what's on fire right now. Formal has 11 assists to his name. Right now, Shopify struggling in the assist departments, and the score line is getting out of hand, Dave. It's up to 16 as the differential.
16 is the different. Cykul shoving him down one more time. Back to the bottom of Tram, but doesn't matter. Scoreline says otherwise. 15 kill lead for Optic. And I don't know if I've ever seen them lose a lead like this.
No, I'd say it's almost impossible for Shopify to get back into this game with how well Optic are playing. The teamwork once again comes through. TriPPPeY, Lucid has your back, and he's got one more in him as well. 5 perfect shots will give Lucid a double kill. Put 2 members of Shopify on respawn, and they have information on where the last 2 are. They're gonna push these 2. Here comes the green wall once again. 15, 3, and 4 for Lucid. 15, 7, and 9 for Deadzone.
Just like that, 2 more down there for Shopify, and they are not slowing down here from the Optic side. They want to continue to press this advantage. They want to go in with all this momentum into Game 3, and they want their ticket punched back to the Grand Finals.
They're 4 kills away from being up 2-0 here in the Elimination Bracket Finals, and Suppressed is dead to rights. Lucid with some more perfect shots, able to finish that player off. 2 players in front of Lucid, and he seems like he needs 2 players focused on him to take him down. As we switch over to the other player with 16 kills, Deadzone, trying to outdo Lucid here in Game 2. Can't finish one of those kills. A couple of easy deaths maybe given away from Optic, but you'll take that. Trying to punch your ticket. 2 more kills. Lucid goes down. Cykul finally wins his first one-on-one, but it's too little too late. 49 now to 32.
I like this play from Optic. They're fighting fire with fire. They're being aggressive. Even if they're down a member, they're pushing across where they feel like they have openings, trying to isolate fights, or at least put the aggression on their terms. They're playing at their pace.
Yeah, Optic's starting to feel the momentum with them. We have these kids right where we want them, and you can see it in the gameplay. They are flying with confidence right now. The individual plays are difficult to deal with, but when Optic start flying at you, they know they have you right where they want you. And the confidence in Optic's playstyle right now, the teamwork that they are running with, I mean, this is going to be a scary team if they're able to finish this series off in 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if Optic are able to close this one out in Game 3, I don't think SSG are saying, sweet, we got Optic here in the finals, because Optic are playing out of their minds right now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see this green wall, but SSG will be waiting on them to finish this series off if they're able to. For Shopify, let's talk about it. They find themselves in another position. They got 0-6 in London and on Championship Sunday. They now find themselves down 0-5 in today's stats. You only need to win 3 of these games to win a best of 5. What are you saying in the back right now to try and fire yourselves up and say, we are still alive in this tournament?
I mean, it is difficult to dig yourselves out of some of those scenarios. I mean, Game 2 wasn't close. They didn't really have any chance of coming back into that one. Obviously, round 2 in the oddball, they were fine. They did great there. They at least got a CTF Argyle here to have at least 10 minutes in here at their pace, 10 to 12 minutes of here to try to go for a flag run, try to get some things going in their favor, try to get some momentum in their favor. You almost don't want another fast, quick game to take off this next, you don't want to see like an interference strongholds for Game 3 because the tournament and series could be over before you know it. So they at least have time on their side. They need to make some pushes together. They need to play and outslay Optic.
I think if they are able to get past Argyle's, one promising stat is that they were able to take Recharge King of the Hill from Optic Gaming yesterday. It was a very, very, very close game, but you got a little bit of confidence that we have beaten them in this map and mode. And if you could say, give me to Game 5 if you're Shopify, you would take that in a heartbeat at this situation. The issue is trying to stop the snowball that is this Optic Gaming team. They have come from the elimination bracket and started to knock down team after team. FaZe, Pure, Shopify now on the list for dessert, and they want that ticket to the grand finals. They want to right the wrongs that have haunted them so far through this year. And looking at an Argyle CTF and how dominant Optic have been with the power weapons so far through this series, you have to be weary of what Lucid and Formable are capable of with that snipe.
Yeah. Absolutely an uphill battle here for Shopify Rebellion. Keep in mind that they were and are the best Slayer team on the circuit. And they got beat at their own mode at one of their better maps. Handily.
Handedly. It was not close. And for that Game 2 to not be close and to know that Shopify has usually relied on these Slayers as an extra game to keep them longer in the series, an opportunity for them to get a lead in specific series where they find a Game 1 win. Even if you go to Game 5 at this point, I guess you're a little confident knowing that you just won the past 2 games, but those Slayers have not been promising here today. And what is it about those Slayers that are kind of haunting them? Is it the pace? Is it how teams are slowing games down and dissecting them? I can't quite put my finger on it.
I don't know, because they were different. This Street Slayer, it was Optic just making the game fast, being aggressive, win the exchanges. That Recharge Slayer that they lost, it felt like they tried to be aggressive at a time they didn't need to be. They were up 47-42 against SSG. And they're like, you know what? Aggression's worked for us so far. Let's make a strong push. And the game had slowed down enough that Space Station set up a good trap, ended up closing that gap, and ended up winning close 50-49. So they were completely different games and styles, but end of the day, the result was Shopify losing. And it's tough. I mean, you're going against a couple of the best teams in the world today. We talk about how their Sunday record hasn't been so good in London or here.
That's generous.
Yeah, it's 0-11 so far between those 2 days for a team to go into the winners bracket finals and then just fall short and just hit these brick walls against these 2 solid squads.
Shopify, a couple of the players returning back to the stage. You see Cykul and SoulSnipe on screen starting to warm up again, but I think a deep breath and a break between games 2 and 3 is much needed. Something to just
change something up. Yeah, at some point you just need to, if things aren't going your way, like call a timeout, take a moment, like let's talk about something. Take people's minds off the negative thoughts. Talk about one small thing your team's going to change and prep to go into that next game. You can't talk about the past. You can't say, man, what did we do wrong? Or I thought we played the snipe. Why did we let him get the overkill? Like, the past is the past. That's for review later. Right now you need to focus on what's next and something small to change. I've always been a big proponent of that. You can't do a major wild change at this point. You can't just like, all right, guys, you know how we used to always go all 4 here? Let's send all 4 the opposite side. Like, no, you're not practicing prep for that. You're going against one of the best teams in the world. change something minor, whether it's, guys, we need to be playing our lives a little bit better. Hey, everyone, make it a goal to buy 2 or 3 more seconds. That's going to give us the breathing room we need for things to happen and get that domino or butterfly effect.
Yeah, I think what you can't do is overthink in these situations.
No.
You got to find it, make it simple. Be confident. Maybe speak about your communication and not about
more small talk.
the
Let's
micro
talk more,
decisions that you're messing up on, because you're very aware as a player when you're making those poor micro decisions of the mistakes that are happening and how Optic are capitalizing in this situation. I hope it was one hell of a pump-up speech, because Lord knows this team needs it in order to get back in this series. Down 0-2 now. The boys are back in their seats. They appear to be a little bit quiet. And on the side of Optic, I mean, what are they saying during this break? Do you even think they got out of their chairs at this point?
When's the last time you saw, like, TriPPPeY just had a wide smile on his face after that game? He was like, what are my teammates doing? They're playing out of their minds. Like, they are in high spirits. But job is not done. Look at that. Serious faces all around. Fist bumps coming out from Optic. They are locking in for game number 3.
Argyle CTF for game number 3. The S7s have haunted Shopify so far through that series. That Lucid overkill is the clip of the weekend, maybe the clip of the year, for God's sake. But we might have something special in store for you here, because if these players are shooting like they are, and there's a couple of S7s on this map that come off respawn, this could be exciting. Optic Gaming, one more game to go back-to-back grand finals. And you know how bad they want another chance to redeem the wrongs from their grand finals appearances so far, and now they look to be in a very promising position to get there.
But Rebellion, one of those squads that when they catch fire, when they're out slaying, they are dangerous to stop. We have yet to see Optic really hand them control or let them into these games outside of that round 2 in Oddball. But here we go. It's going to be Formal versus Mental. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned snipe battle.
Formal, a legendary sniper, actually expects SoulSnipe to be overextending. He's going to pick up that lane, knock SoulSnipe to no shield. There's 2 members of Shopify already in the base of Optic Gaming. Formal's going to body shot both of them. Neither one of those players died. Now Shopify look to be in a promising position to get a flag pull.
I believe both flags being pulled, so both teams being incredibly aggressive. We're going to have both flags being taken out at this point in time. But Cykul, I would say, in the better position, has Formal snipe behind enemy lines. Now he's trying to figure out where are these players spawning.
Big kill.
Ends up taking out Lucid back in his base. So no longer do they have to worry about their flag as much. Now they're back on the offensive. That's TriPPPeY and Lucid down. Can Shopify get a flag grab?
They got a touch, but it does look like the flag was returned at the same time. However, Optic Gaming did just enough to get that flag back to their base. Cykul was going to be a thorn in their side, but they're able to take him down, get that return, and keep this at a 0-0 game for now.
Look at this, a 2-2 split here from Optic. 2 fighting on each lane of the map. Who's going to win their sides? Looks like Suppress going to take out Deadzone. So many players here kind of on defense, and that's so tough. Nobody's really in a position to help finish off Mental there. And player after player dropping. Formal, only one over here. Deadzone just spawning, so Formal gonna be left out to dry, and these spawns are gonna be staggered for a bit. Let's see how quickly or slowly Shopify Rebellion move across the map, because they can take it at either pace. They can either sprint, try to get a quick flag pull, or slowly but surely push on up, take about 75% of the map, and then pull after getting the kills.
They try to do it quick, but as I say that, Suppressed and Mental both get taken down. It's up to SoulSnipe to try and win a massive one-on-one against Formal. He's not able to do so, and with that, Optic Gaming will be able to take control of the map once again. Here comes Tommy Wilson down the street as he tries to be aggressive as well, trying to create so much space. You can see it's very similar strategy. The second you get 2 to 3 dead, these players are looking to fly, and Lucid with the flag on the move now. Optic need to find some kills.
One thing that's also interesting to me from Lucid there as he threw those frag grenades in the vent is I couldn't tell if Cykul was already weak there or if he placed those frag grenades in a sense that they instant off each other, and so almost had 2 frag grenades hitting one player at the same exact time. Not sure if that's exactly what happened. I'll have to check the VODs later, but it felt like Cykul died real quick.
Look at this situation. The flag is on the move. They're going to drop it to try and get some kills. I believe all 4 members of Optic will be coming up respawn. It's TriPPPeY first, and he's away from that flag touch. It is going to be returned by Shopify, and Shopify now have multiple members over towards the Snipe and the PCs, but here comes TriPPPeY. TriPPPeY finds a player, can't quite hit the last shot until just now. The last shot gets the job done. They put 3 down on Shopify, and TriPPPeY, once again with this quick street route, looks to be aggressive and deny some space for respawners of Shopify Rebellion.
TriPPPeY almost winning that 1v1 against Suppressed, able to close that one out, and as soon as you kill that player who's the furthest up towards your base, you get to breathe easier. You're no longer at risk of dying and potentially that flag being snagged.
Formal gonna play very passive with this next sniper rifle. He's gonna back up all the way under his base. He does land a body on the SoulSnipe. SoulSnipe makes him work for it though, knocks him to no shield. Now Formal trying to play his life, able to create an opportunity with numbers, but a beautiful melee from SoulSnipe to close that distance is cleaned up by a teammate on Shopify, and now Mental trying to make it a double, cannot do so. Back and forth these two teams go to fight for control, but Cykul with the snipe is going to create an advantage now for Shopify.
Cykul sitting in his bed. We're gonna have to see if he can do anything with this QT if he decides to even go for it, but it's more so just getting this height control at the moment. Just trying to lay down shots and allow his teammates to push all the way across the map and get in better position here. But as soon as Mental gets off, and that was a grapple bringing down that QT. Also, Cykul getting sniped at the same time. A series of unfortunate events unfolding right before his eyes.
Yeah, it's about time Formal started hitting some shots with the snipe. You give him enough opportunity, he will seize that opportunity. Still a 0-0 game. 7:30 on the clock might not sound like a lot, or might sound like a lot of time, but as this game continues to be neutralized, Formal tries to grapple the flag to top middle. I believe the flag might be towards top middle, but it doesn't make it past the ledge. Formal cuts that grapple off. He actually pays for it with his life. 3 go down, and although Optic try a very fancy, flashy flag run there, it gets punished, and now Shopify have map control. Lucid still gonna be a problem with the S7 in the attic. Lucid still a problem with the snipe. Lucid finds 2, and Lucid is the last player you want that snipe to fall in the hands of.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of like spy kids capture that was. They had QT flag tossed out, going to the grapple, the player with a sniper. Just absolute absurdity, the levels of depth that these players have in their playbook for a flag run.
Flag on the move, and some of Optic might be spy kids, but Lucid looks like James Bond out there, taking down everyone. Formal says, I want another chance at this snipe. As they take a 1-0 lead, Formal with snipe is gonna be a problem as well. We'll get in the kill feed though. TriPPPeY's found the other snipe, and he just ripped 2 faces off himself. This is now an Optic domination, as they have both S7s, they have complete map control. They do lose Formal and Lucid, so Shopify will release a lot of the pressure from Optic right there, but they still have TriPPPeY to deal with.
Still half the game to go though. Plenty of time for Shopify Rebellion to get a cap and answer this. However, one thing that needs to be stated about squads, especially like Optic and SSG, is they are way more comfortable when it comes to the slowing of the game. They're okay as the game really pauses or drawing out the clock a bit more. They just have more experience, and they're just more used to having those longer battles against these big 3 teams that generally it's not a 3-cap game, it's generally a 1 or 2-cap game, and so they're used to making fewer mistakes and capitalizing when they do have those windows of opportunity.
And not only are you getting to play from the lead with another flag on the move, you're also playing to your own play style. Shopify traditionally play very fast and chaotic and try to make the game very difficult to read for Optic, but Optic doing such a good job so far here throughout this game 3 to control the pace of the game. TriPPPeY jumping from attic to attic, not able to finish that kill, but picks up that quantum. And in the meantime, in the side of our screen, we see that second flag get punched in, so Optic get a 2-0 lead, and now the pressure is on Shopify. 5 minutes down 2-0. What do you have for us?
This one is rough because 1 cap by itself would have already been a strong feat. That would have already been difficult for Shopify to come back and get that cap. Now they have to some point do 2, but looks like Optic's going for that dagger, tossing that flag out.
They want the grand finals. They're trying to get there as fast as possible. They don't want this 5 minutes to hold them off to give Shopify any chance. But that flag, it gets stopped. TriPPPeY's gonna be playing his life right here as he loses all of his team around him. Shopify find an opportunity, an opening to get a flag move of their own, but TriPPPeY gets 2 players to no shield from this ridiculous angle. And now the respawners of Optic look like they've stopped this cap dead in its tracks once again.
Just love these plays by Optic. When they do have somebody alive across the map, they're able to hide and be in a tricky spot where they can either get an isolated 1v1 trade or they can wait for their teammate spawn and lay out the damage needed. Just because of those kills or the damage there by TriPPPeY, his team was able to break out across the map, and then now they're able to actually get a new flagpole. All because of that TriPPPeY play over down low.
This is game right here. Optic with a flag on the move, Snipe in the hands of Lucid, and here it comes. Back to the base, it's a long route, and Lucid is gonna try and deny respawners from Shopify overextending. Lucid's gonna succeed at that denial as he finds the head of one. Optic will punch it in, and Optic Gaming are headed to the grand finals, back to back to back this year. And let's see what they have in store to rewrite the history books for 2024.
Incredible plays there from Optic. I was wondering if they were just getting a little too confident, getting a little too cocky, run that third flag back. Sometimes one of the worst things you can do is try to close out the game and set up a counter cap for your team, for the opposing team to get back in the game. But not quite the case. Optic closing that one out in about 7 minutes time.
Oh, baby, the green wall is here. Championship Sunday, whites are out, and Optic headed back to the grand finals. But let's bid our adieu to Shopify in another unfortunate, unsuccessful Championship Sunday. But the tournament that these guys put on this weekend, they have something to be proud of, but it will leave them wanting more.